Happy Saturday, everybody. Atmospheric Avenger meteorologist Joe Bastardi with the Saturday summary here for you. That's what I call myself. For those of you who are just watching this, here I am. Okay, so this is me. But I call myself the Atmospheric Avenger. All right, for those of you who do not have Weather Bell Premium and you're just taking a look at the Saturday summary here. Okay, let's take a look at 96 hours, the ridge building over the top. In the eastern part of the United States, but yet another shot. There's a shot of cold air coming, another shot coming. The first shot comes Sunday into Monday, then another one comes later next week. And this is really interesting because what it's doing is, while most of the country is very warm, the Northeast, very different story as it's below normal. We started out the first 5 days above normal, but it's quite a bit below normal now. And I'm focused on the Northeast. There goes the trough in 192 hours. You can see all this low height field left behind in the Gulf of Mexico. Things are suspicious there. We get out to 288, and this is the kind of thing that should promote. Again, I think we are going to see a flurry of tropical activity, and it's starting now. Believe it or not, I'm going to show you the reason. You're going to see a lot more robust-looking convection in the tropics when we get to those pictures in just a moment. It's already beginning. As far as it's showing us, it's going to have, before this is all over, try to reach some kind of peak here. But this is how the model's predicting a hurricane to come up out of the Caribbean, and the ensembles are really really big. Almost all of them, all the members have something coming north out of the Caribbean there. Now here's the upcoming 5 days. See the cool in the Northeast. The summer continues over the central part of the United States. Precipitation sparse. You can see it down in the Gulf. We've got problems in here. We may even see another one of these systems spin up in the Gulf of Mexico and try to get a name the latter part of this week, but it'll most likely stay south of Texas. And then we see the following 5 days, a little bit warmer than normal in the Northeast. So you see this cool passing across, and we've got, of course, the very warm temperatures here in the central part of the United States. Now, when you start putting these things together, okay, you put this together and you see what's happened so far. Call this just the September forecast we have looks like this. So with the exception of the Northeast, it looks like it's a pretty darn good forecast. Although the Northeast may warm up enough, the latter part of the month to really push those temperatures up. You see lack of rainfall again. We've got some down here, and this is a 6 to 10 day period. So still not much going on. And here's the ensemble idea for temperatures in the 11 to 15, so it remains rather warm. Now look at this. This is Monday night. Let me see if I can close in. Monday morning. If this is correct, and it's going to be close. Look at some of these temperatures. The pink represents below freezing. This would mean that in these areas, this is not like sticking it in the center of the country right over top of the corn and soybeans, okay? So I understand that. But given that we had the Memorial Day snowstorm and the cold in the Northeast, the fact that the morning of September 9th, there would be temperatures this cold would indicate to me that some of these people, for gardens and things like that, maybe small vegetable farms, may have had their shortest growing season ever. Because I'm saying, they say, well, what is it, 100 days? Between that part of May, or maybe 110 days. I don't know about you, but I haven't seen it. I have to go back and research it. I got to 34 in Bradford a couple mornings ago already. And then when we look, the following shot is pretty impressive for next weekend. It's got temperatures in the Northeast. You can see it's even colder up here in Maine, and frost down in West Virginia. So you can see it's a pretty robust charge of cool, even though we're baking in the central part of the United States. Okay, here's what I'm talking about. Take a look at the tropics. This is the tropical depression that went inland. Notice it's a lot more colorful than it's been. Now this system here is Gabrielle, and I think Gabrielle is going to try to come back. There's a central Atlantic shock, Gabrielle, and a low pressure system near 15 north, 35 west that's trying to come westward. Big envelope of circulation. Going to have to fight all sorts of dry air, but this may be something that could be a player in here in 4 or 5 days. And this is definitely going to be a storm. This is probably going to be our first hurricane of the season. it'll get off and most likely try to recurve because it's going to develop quickly. Very warm water off Africa this year. Very warm water. The problem, and I explained this to a lot of folks, is what is going on in the Indian Ocean is very, very interesting. We have the coolest water temperatures in the sub-Asian continent waters there since I can't find anything this cool over the entire area. And it's affecting the African wave train. When the water's cooler than normal from off the Vietnamese coast all the way back to Saudi Arabia and Africa, that's a problem. And I think that's what's been going on this year as far as this wave train. That being said, when you get to this part of the year, the water's, even though it may be below normal, is still warm enough to help out with the wave train. You can see that coming off the African coast there, and that's probably going to spin pretty quickly. Now, speaking of spinning, this is Gabrielle, and it's probably there's a low-level center someplace maybe right in here. And she's going to be drifting north the next few days. And it's not a done deal that this is gone. I had something else I wanted to show you there. Let me see if I can stick this up here. Let's take a look at what the ensembles is very, very interesting. If you look at the ensembles, they're trying to take this off to the west-northwest, the GFS ensembles. Now, the hurricane model ensembles are not taking it to the west-northwest. They've got one that does take off to the northwest here, but this shows you that it may get trapped over here. So that's something that we are watching. And certainly if I'm on Bermuda, I'd be watching this closely, because what will happen is this trough goes by, the heights will rise, and the system may get trapped and in a better position for development. If it was going to go away, it should have gone away by now. So I think Gabrielle's probably going to stage a comeback over here. Now, here's what I want to show you. We've got a lot of analogs that look like the winter of 2002, 2003 to me. And this winter's interesting in that, I've been pointing at this winter for several years, the 13-14 winter, based on some swing theories that I have, and that's what they are, theories. The atmosphere swinging back and forth, and some of it is because of cyclical climate change, but we won't get into that here. But take a look at this, and now take a look at the forecast on the CFSV2. It shows you the similarities. There's a trough along the East Coast, another brutal winter in Europe, of course. And it shows you they got the right sea surface temperature picked out here, because the sea surface temperature analog package. So what happens is they get the sea surface temperature, say, okay, let's just use the sea surface temperature and come up with an analog and see what it looks like. There it is, blocking and the negative NAO. So this is all on the table here with this upcoming situation. Speaking of being on the table, want to make sure that before I go, we show you what the Arctic ice is doing, because after all, everybody is concerned about that, right? Everybody's all concerned about the whether we got too much Arctic ice or too little Arctic ice. There we are. We are above the lowest ever. Okay, you can see that. And actually, a pretty stout recovery. I remind my people, people that are on my side of the fight here. They go, biggest increase from one year to another. Yeah, well, when you get that small, it's pretty easy to get bigger. I mean, it's a type of situation. I get people that are on my side of the argument mad because they're trying to promote, of course, and counter the other side of the argument. I say, okay, look, it was down so low. If it got any lower, then the other guys would be right. So it has recovered somewhat, and the CFSV2 actually showed that happen. That's why these guys screaming there was going to be no ice cap in 2013. Well, we're in 2013. It's got 12 days to go. The Antarctic ice cap is up near the top here, and the question is, can it get over the hump and beat last year? It's ahead of where it was last year, but it looks like it could be close to peaking. It really got up there early, but we'll see. Very, very interesting on the down there in Antarctica. And I want to remind people that if you're going to think globally, there is a southern hemisphere. That's it for now. Enjoy the weather. It's the only weather you got.